We like sports and we don't care who knows. From shooting hoops to the Super Bowl. We like sports and we don't care who knows.
Hey guys, welcome back to Flem and Lem episode 5. The Bryce is right. That's Lem.
That's Flem.
And we are Flem and Lem. Lem, what do we have coming up today?
You said it. The Bryce is right. Bryce Harper finally signed. Thank you, baseball gods. We're going to discuss his contract, what this means for the Phillies and the team.
Yeah.
You can't forget football. We're going to do some quarterback debate. And is LeBron James, has he fallen off the throne? We're going to discuss.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back to Flem and Lem. We're going to get right into the NFL. There was some news this week. Last week we discussed Joe Flacco and that trade. This week it was announced that Eli Manning will be returning for a season with the Giants. My guy, Eli, I love him. So we're going to discuss, out of all the quarterbacks available, who would you want to have? Who is your number one guy you want if you were starting a team? Some options: Nick Foles, Tyrod Taylor, Derek Carr, maybe Ted Bridgewater. You go with the draft, whole bunch of guys in there. Flem, who you got?
I'm going to go with the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I want Dwayne Haskins. I think very underrated in college. Didn't get the attention that he deserved. If we look at his stats, just last year, 50 touchdown passes.
He went off.
50. And that's a lot.
Yeah.
They're not playing 16 games like NFL players. Threw for 4,800 yards. This guy, I think, is a real deal. He's a 6'3", 220, prototypical quarterback size, big arm, accurate. He's a winner, too. I mean, Kyler Murray's a winner, but Dwayne Haskins, he's not a loser because they didn't make it to the playoffs. So he's a winner, big arm.
Yep.
I think he just has everything that NFL teams want.
Played in a good conference, played high competition, Heisman
for a
finalist.
good coach.
Yeah. I think with Haskins, he's not my pick, but going with him, I'm not saying system quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think he fits in really well with the Giants. We've seen Instagram posts. He wants in. I think Saquon and OBJ want him in there. I just think if you get those three, especially if you can back up Eli for a year, like kind of like Pat Mahomes did. Mm-hmm. Eli's obviously on the downhill, but if you can get Dwayne Haskins to wait a year and then put him in that offense, I think that's a really
Do you see that being a problem? Because, say Eli doesn't perform well first 5 games this season, it becomes a tough situation. Do you put in Dwayne Haskins and rush him, or do you just stick with Eli so that Dwayne can get the whole year?
I would stick with Eli. Statistically, Eli had a decent year. Like, he wasn't bad. His interceptions were down. The Giants aren't very good. So I would say stick with them. And especially, like Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer. Okay. Maybe we'll put that up on a poll. Is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer?
No.
He's a great, he's done so much for the Giants. I don't think they'd boot him out.
Okay.
Anyway.
My
pick is the one and only, the Philly legend, Nick Foles. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. That's honestly,
it's hard to argue with.
It's hard to argue.
Obviously, everyone knows the story. Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Who knows? Could have had a run this year if Alshon Jeffrey hadn't dropped that pass. He's a winner. He knows how to get it done with multiple teams. Kind of. I mean, he hasn't had crazy much success, but he can learn systems. And Jacksonville is a perfect fit. It's pretty rumors are out there. It's not if he's going to Jacksonville, it's when he's going to sign with Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. 2 years removed from an AFC Championship game, great defense. Leonard Fournette's kind of he's got some question marks right now, but he's a good back. I think he's a miss. Nick Foles fits in perfectly.
Well, in the Jaguars, I think you're just looking for stability at this point.
Yeah.
You just want a quarterback who's decent.
Yeah.
And we've seen that we don't there was a debate between Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz is a great quarterback. So, I don't see why not. Obviously, there's other options like you mentioned, Tyrod Taylor, Teddy Bridgewater. But why not go with Nick Foles?
Yeah, a proven guy.
Because the Jaguars, they want to win.
Yeah.
Well, they want stability, but they also want to compete. Mm-hmm. And Nick Foles has proven that he can win.
Yeah.
That he does win.
I think Derek Carr is an interesting case. I think the Raiders are on this weird line of one step away from being good, but one bad step away from being the joke of the NFL again.
Right.
Derek Carr, huge contract, so that might be hard to sell. But he's only had one winning season in his 5-year career. Then he went 12-3 before he broke his leg. A lot of people think he could have won the MVP.
Right.
Every other year he's under 500. So talent is there. There's some question marks with Gruden and the Raiders right now.
I'm thinking that the Raiders will get a different free agent, or they will draft someone like Kyler Murray.
I think they trade Carr, obviously, and draft someone. I don't know. The Redskins could use Derek Carr, get him another Gruden switch, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting case.
Well, something to look for during the draft. Cliff Kingsbury, the new coach for the Cardinals, has been with Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Been really close to Kyler Murray since he was in high school. And he's already said that before he got hired, he was in an interview and said that he really likes Kyler Murray and would consider drafting him.
Taking a number one if he had it.
And now he has the number one pick.
I wonder if he regrets saying that at all, because now it's like, yo, you said it. Are you going to do it?
Fits into the system that I think he wants to run.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know if it's fair to compare him to Deshaun Watson because their body types are different, but in the fact that they are dual threat quarterbacks who a lot of guys were like, good in college, we'll see. Deshaun Watson had a ton of success. Mm-hmm. Maybe Kyler Murray could do it again. I want to know, is Josh Rosen available? Are the Cardinals shopping him? If they
do, then it's automatic that they're picking Kyler Murray.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't pick anyone else. You'd pick Kyler Murray.
That's tough.
You even look at Baker. It was number one pick. People were like, maybe a first-round pick, maybe not.
Yeah.
The Browns were like, no, he's our guy. We want him.
Yeah. What do you think? Would you rather have Josh Rosen or Kyler Murray?
I would rather have Kyler Murray, but I think Josh Rosen could be good. I think he's put into a terrible situation with the Cardinals, who are awful.
I think if you're a Cardinals fan, you want Kyler Murray.
I do too.
Because he's the athlete.
Yeah.
He could be the face of your organization.
But you give up on Josh Rosen so quickly. Last year,
that's the thing. Was he that bad, or was your team bad?
Exactly.
And I also think if you draft Kyler Murray and get rid of Josh Rosen, I don't think your team magically gets better.
Yeah.
Because they have so many holes.
So many problems.
So many holes. So, but it's just, which quarterback do you want for your franchise going forward? I don't know.
Flem's going Haskins.
I'm going Haskins, yeah.
I'm going Nick Foles. I guess we'll find out. There will be a lot of moves. Draft is next month. I'm excited.
Well, coming up next, we are talking LeBron James and the Lakers. According to Stephen A. Smith, they stink, and they do. But is he still your king? We'll talk about it more coming up next.
Let's go.
All right, welcome back. We are going to talk LeBron James and the Lakers. Man, they're hurting.
It's a struggle.
They are hurting.
It's a struggle.
The odds now. Well, I saw before this past week, their odds to get a lottery pick were higher than their odds to make the playoffs, and now worse.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Lost to the Bucks, blew a lead, and then they lose to the Phoenix Suns.
You lost to Phoenix.
Phoenix Suns.
Ugh.
So the Phoenix Suns are the worst team that LeBron has lost to in his entire career. Mm-hmm. So is LeBron still your king?
Here's my thing. Is it possible to be the best player in the world but not the best player in the league? He's LeBron James. Yeah. He's the alpha male. He's the chosen one. He's top 2 players of all time. Right. If you want to call him a GOAT, go ahead. If you don't, if you want to call him number 2, go ahead. It's LeBron James. It's the same guy who took the Cleveland Cavaliers, the dumpster fire high school JV Cavaliers to the finals last year.
Right.
And it's LeBron James, but he's not the best player in the league right now. Or I don't know if I want to say any more, but right now. Harden's better this year. Giannis is better this year. Kevin Durant, maybe even Paul George. What's going on?
So one thing I find is interesting. His stats are pretty much the exact same as every other year. Top 5 in the league in assists. He still scores around 25 a game, but the results are not showing up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like you can say his team is not as good, but yeah, he played with the Cavs last year and led them to the finals. The West is obviously harder, but why is it this bad?
Yeah.
And for me, the biggest difference I see is just the leadership role is diminished.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see LeBron as like the hero. You know, like he's kind of becoming the villain.
Yeah, I see.
And
him in a
people are
villain
starting
role.
to turn on him and
Yeah.
say, "Is LeBron James like? Is he actually that great of a leader?
Yeah.
Like, do they actually like playing with LeBron James?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple hypocritical things that he's had this season. Told the players stay off social media. Yet he's on social media a ton.
Constantly.
Said, hey, we need to make sure we're focused on basketball. Yet he's releasing TVs, promotions, he's making movies.
Yeah.
He's got his not the podcast, but
More than an athlete, that thing?
yeah, the shop
Yeah.
type thing where they go and talk with celebrities and
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep.
So is he really focused on basketball?
Yeah.
It's kind of, it feels a little bit hypocritical at
It's-
this point.
I remember earlier in the year, no, like preseason over the summer, ESPN released their like playoff predictions.
Right.
And one, they had the Jazz at number 2, which is funny. But 2, they didn't have the Lakers making the playoffs. And I remember everyone and their mom was like, ESPN, this is it. ESPN's going to their grave. You don't have the Lakers making the playoffs. And now we're like, okay, okay, I see you.
So do you think this proves that the West is that much better, or do you think it proves that LeBron is just not, that he's not cutting it?
I think it proves that the Lakers are not who we thought they were.
Yeah.
Because it was like Kuzma, Lonzo, all these guys, these young guys, and you bring in Rondo to lead. You bring in JaVale McGee to lead. I think it proves that Kevin Love and J.R. Smith is really not that bad of a supporting cast.
Yeah, if you think about it, they just got Reggie Bullock.
Yeah.
And he plays like 20 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And that kind of shows me like Reggie Bullock is getting bulk minutes for the Lakers. Something's wrong.
My big question is, when he signed with the Lakers, everyone was like, okay, he's done everything he wants to in basketball. He's cemented his legacy. This is a lifetime move for his family and to help promote and stuff. Has this move hurt his legacy? Has he taken a step because of what's happened this year?
Yeah,
and there's just 3 more years of LeBron in LA and all the free agents are going to get. But this year, it's been such a wreck. Has this hurt him as a player?
I think it has.
Yeah.
I don't know if it hurts his. It hurts his. Kind of hurts him this year. His overall legacy.
Yeah.
He's still one of the greatest to ever play.
Yeah.
But this year, people are starting to see body language on the court.
Yeah.
Or he's just like, throwing up his hands. What are you guys doing? It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. It doesn't. It's not the same LeBron. I don't feel like it's the same LeBron.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Does it hurt the NBA not to have the Lakers or not to have LeBron in the playoffs? Or is it, wow, he didn't make it?
That's a good question. I don't think it hurts right now in the regular season because that's the narrative. Is LeBron going to miss the playoffs?
Yeah.
But then once playoff time comes and LeBron is not in the playoffs, they're going to be like,
we're watching the Clippers in LA in the playoffs.
well, you want to watch LeBron.
Yeah.
Like you want to watch the Showtime
You want to watch
Lakers
the best of
with
the best.
LeBron.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. There's still 20-something games left.
Yeah.
They're struggling. Their odds are not looking good. But it's LeBron James. So we'll find out.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, coming up next, we are talking Bryce Harper. The Bryce is right. Signed a massive contract. Does this make the Phillies the best team in MLB? Or does this make baseball better? We'll talk more coming up next.
Let's go. All right, guys. Welcome back to our last segment of the day, last topic at least. We are going to talk some baseball. Bryce Harper finally signed a contract, and you can tell we are happy. We are decking it out with our baseball stuff today.
Go baseball.
So let's just discuss the deal. 13 years, $330 million, no opt-out, no trade clause. He's going to be a Philly for a long time. What you think?
Good for him.
Yeah.
This is what he wanted. He wanted to be in one place for a long time, for a lot of money, and he got what he wanted.
Yeah.
It's security is what it is. So in my perspective, I don't know. Like, did he want security? Why does he want security?
Yeah.
He could have signed with the Dodgers for 4 years, incredulous amount of money.
Did you hear what it was?
Like
It was
40,
4 years, $180 million total. That's $45 million a year.
which would have crushed anybody's average.
And then you
per
get to
year.
hit free agency again in 4 years?
So, like, why did he want the security is my question.
Yeah.
it almost like, do you not bet on yourself
That's
that
what
you're
I'm
going to
thinking.
be good?
Yeah.
But what's safe bet, I guess, you know? If you want the 13, get the 13.
I can't blame him. He wanted a long deal. He said no short-term deals. He
Right.
got a ton of money. Who knows? Maybe it's just for his family. I can respect that. It's like, hey, I want to settle down with a family in Philadelphia or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna criticize the contract. I just have questions.
Well, if you think about it, he's going to be getting paid till he's 39.
Yeah.
A lot of people say he got a contract till he's 34, and then he kind of falls off and you don't know where the money's going to come from.
Then free agency sucks again, and who knows?
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But this is guaranteed money till you're 39 pretty much. Good for him.
Is it good for baseball?
I think it's good for the great players.
Yeah.
Like Mike Trout will get paid because he's a once in a generation player.
Yeah.
But for everybody else, if Bryce Harper doesn't work out,
Yeah.
you got to think that no one's going to get paid.
Or Machado, for that matter.
No one's going to. Yeah, or Machado.
Yeah.
No baseball team is going to want to offer 10 years,
Yeah.
7 years for a player that might not work out.
A lot of people don't think Bryce Harper was worth it. I'm not
What do you
gonna.
think?
I'm not going to say an individual playing a sport or a game is worth $330 million. But in the baseball context, yeah, I do. He's won an MVP. I actually think in 2017 he would have won a second MVP. He missed about 2 months of the season. That year he had 29 home runs, 87 RBIs. He hit 319.
Right.
I think he was winning that MVP before he got hurt. 5-tool player. 7-time All-Star, 6-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Ridiculous player.
Right.
I think he's one of the top 3 in the game.
I think that if you're going to ask if someone's worth it, there's 2 ways you can look at it. Comparatively, he's worth it. Because if Manny Machado's worth $300 million,
yes,
he's worth at least
worth
$330
more than that. Yeah.
But isolated, that's where it gets different because
Yeah.
he's a 6-time All-Star. He's hit 330 and won MVP. He's
Yeah.
hit 319 and been an MVP. But last year he had 249.
Yeah.
2016 he had 243.
Yeah.
I think that the Phillies kind of took a risk.
I
to
do
be
too,
honest. But he's the face of baseball.
Yeah.
They're going to sell tickets like no other.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're already selling massive amount of tickets just because he signed. And even if he's just mediocre, their team is solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think they're favorite to win?
I think they're
To win the NL? Maybe not the World Series, but the NL.
I think they're top 2 in the NL. Their pitching is a big question. Aaron Nola is fantastic.
Yeah.
Arrieta is good enough,
Mm-hmm.
but their back end of the rotation is a question mark.
Do you think that that's going to come to bite them?
It could.
Spending too much on Andrew McCutchen,
Yeah.
where you could have put that $50 million towards
To Keuchel.
yeah,
Or
to
or
Keuchel.
to Patrick Corbin. Or
Right.
someone.
I think so, because after Arrieta, who had a very mediocre
Average year.
season,
Yeah.
and Aaron Nola, who's a Cy Young contender, after those two, they don't have anybody.
Let's talk about the Phillies, though. I mean, their offseason was incredible. They got, obviously, Harper. They got JT Realmuto, best catcher in the game.
Right.
And then gave up some prospects for him. They traded for Gene Segura, who is underrated as all get out. All-star shortstop,
all-star.
hit over 300.
Mhm.
Andrew McCutchen, I don't love how much money he got, but because they have other stars, if you have Andrew McCutchen hitting 7th, not 3rd, like the Giants tried to do,
Right.
good.
Yeah, he's not a three hitter. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where your best hitter,
Yes.
or somewhere around there's where your best hitter hits. Yeah, McCutchen's your 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
I'll take that.
That's
And then-
incredible.
And then David Robertson, the former Yankees reliever,
Right.
he's one of the best relievers in baseball.
Right.
They had an amazing offseason. Amazing. 3 All-Stars, position players
Yeah.
on one.
I don't know. So you said they're top 2. Who do you?
I think it's a toss-up between Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and the Dodgers. I think all 3 teams are great, but let's get straight.
Milwaukee.
They're really good. They won the
Okay.
National League last year. I'm not done with predictions yet.
Okay.
Like I'm not even sure I'm going to pick the Phillies to win the division because
Yeah.
more guys have to sign. Spring training has to play out. It's going to be a fun race.
Biggest winners and losers for
The
you.
biggest winner is the LDS Church. Okay. They're going to be rolling in the Bryce Harper tithing money. That's amazing.
I better get my college paid.
I bet they were like, all right, Bryce, 330, 350.
Take
Come
it.
on now.
Take it.
The winners are the Phillies fans
Yeah.
and Bryce Harper. The
I'm-
losers is the rest of the division.
Well, yes. Because I'm going to say a winner is just the NL East in a way, or baseball fans. Because that NL East is going to be incredible to watch.
Yeah. Four teams
there's
would all win
4
the division.
teams that could win. Maybe. I'm not sure if I'd put the Mets there, but who knows?
Yeah.
Their pitching's incredible.
Yeah.
But 4 teams that could win a division. The NL Central, you got 3 teams that could win a division. NL West, you got
Probably
one team.
one.
Probably one. But they're getting Padres farm system, number 1 ranked farm
The
system.
Rockies made the playoffs. They'll be decent enough.
This is good for baseball.
It's good for competition. It's
good
what
for
we want to see.
competition and for baseball. Good for Bryce.
Happy for him.
Yeah, can't wait to make our predictions because their backside of the rotation is kind of scary.
I do want to say one more thing though. You said Bryce Harper is the face of baseball. I want to clarify that. He is the face of baseball because he is who everyone knows. Mike Trout is the best player in baseball, but Mike Trout doesn't carry that star power. And I'm fine with that. If he doesn't want it, take it. Bryce Harper is the golden boy when he was 16. He was the number 1 overall pick. He's the prospect he's the player that everyone pays big money to see.
Well, he's also the player of if you remember last year MLB came out with the Let the Boys Play.
Mm-hmm.
Or Let the Kids, was it Let the Boys Play?
I think it was kids.
Let the Kids, Let the Kids Play. Bryce Harper's the face of that dude.
Yeah.
Pimps home runs.
Yeah.
He plays with fire and passion.
The hair flip even.
Hair flip. Dude, Mike
he's the
Trout,
movie star of baseball.
If you're a baseball buff, Mike Trout he's the number 1 guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you could say he's even the face of baseball, but Harper's like the cover boy.
Yes, that's a good way
He's
to put
just
it.
like the guy, if you want young kids to love the sport, it's like, watch how he plays the sport.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So,
It's been
baseball
fun to
won.
watch.
Baseball definitely won.
Yeah, we won as huge baseball fans.
It kind of sucked waiting for everything to come into place,
Yeah.
but when it did happen, there's
awesome.
no stress anymore.
Yeah.
But
Coming up, we're going to do our Utah sports recap and Flem and Lem's last words. Stay tuned. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, guys, to wrap it up, we're going to do Utah sports recap, and we're going to do Flem and Lem's last words. Start us with the sports recap.
BYU men's basketball clinched the 3 seed in the West Coast Conference tournament. That's actually pretty good. It took a good game against San Diego, and then it took some help San Francisco losing. What all that pretty much means is they won't have to play Gonzaga until the potential championship round. So the women's team for BYU, they are very likely going to go to the women's NCAA tournament. Going to the dance is a big deal. They could win the whole thing, like the whole West Coast Conference tournament, or they could get an at-large bid, but they're probably going.
Yeah, Utah Jazz last night played the Bucks. Lem was there.
I was at the game. Amazing game. Last few seconds, Donovan Mitchell's a real deal. Disappointing, but huge game for the Jazz. Anywhere in the 3-6 in the West, it's
looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But Donovan Mitchell's carrying the team. Let's see how long he can keep it up. Also, Utah State going to the national tournament for hockey.
Yep.
Shout out to them. They beat BYU in the qualifier. BYU hockey, great season.
Amazing season.
Shout out to them. So that's it for our Utah sports recap.
Yep.
For Flem and Lem's last words, I'll start. I'm a big UFC fan, so shout out to John Jones, who thoroughly defeated Anthony Smith. Beat him by a ton last night to remain the light heavyweight champ. He's one of my favorite fighters ever, and he is the GOAT of the light heavyweight champion. So shout out to John Jones.
Yeah.
Lem.
My last word is going to go to Dwayne Wade. One last dance.
Flash.
If you haven't seen, go look up his game-winning, buzzer-beating shot against the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
It was blocked, and he had to jump up in the air, and he banked it in. It was amazing. I know you're a big Flash fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big Flash fan. I remember watching the 06 Finals Heat over the Mavericks. Not the LeBron James Heat. The Dwayne Wade, Shaq Heat. Udonis Haslem Heat.
The real GOAT.
The GOAT.
The real GOAT.
Dwayne Wade is a class act for basketball. Top 3 shooting guards of all time. Love to see him go out like that.
Very much so a class act.
Love to see him back in Miami.
That's just God's gift to all Dwayne Wade fans. And it's a miracle it went in, but that's just Dwayne Wade. Last dance.
Yeah.
The miracle.
And beat the Warriors, it wasn't the Grizzlies. It was the Warriors.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 5 of Flem and Lem. We'll see you guys next week with more information on the NFL Combine, and we'll see you next week.
Let's go. See ya.
We like sports and we don't care who knows. From shooting hoops to the Super Bowl. We like sports and we don't care who